There is a difference between supporting her mental health issues personally and honoring your professional obligations. And I'm going to discuss both because people have somehow got it twisted that if you support the fair application of the rules, that somehow you don't support Naomi's mental health challenges, which is exactly why the tennis governing body was 100% correct. People are biased. Rules are not. This is Dee. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. Well, guys, I am back with a new video. And today I am going to get down in this Naomi Osaka controversy because I feel as if there is a lot of misinformation and people not looking at this in its totality. But before I get into all of this, please do not forget to subscribe, guys. Subscribe and turn on those notifications so you are aware whenever I upload a new video just like this one. So let's get into it. I don't want this video to be too lengthy, but your girl I have a lot to say. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to break this video down into several different subjects. First of all, I'm going to give you just a quick introduction of me and my history with tennis. Number two, I'm going to give you a brief summary of the situation and why I think the powers that be, they were 100% absolutely right in the threat to default Naomi Osaka. There is a difference between supporting her mental health issues personally and honoring your professional obligations. And I'm going to discuss both because people have somehow got it twisted that if you support the fair application of the rules, that somehow you don't support Naomi's mental health challenges. The thing that cracks me up on Twitter is like you've got a lot of people weighing in on this matter that know absolutely nothing about this sport. They've probably never seen it, probably never held a racket, probably never watched a match. And so this is why I wanted to make this video. So first of all, just a quick some history about me with regards to tennis. I am a tennis player. I have been a tennis player my whole life. I've played in high school, I played in college, I still play, and I was the first, black person on my tennis team. In fact, if you go to my high school, you will see a little plaque, saying that I was, in fact, the first black or African American person on my high school tennis team. So, and honey, this was long before Venus and Serena. And with regards to the contract aspect of this, I am a commercial contracts manager. That is my job. Reviewing, negotiating contracts is what I do. So y'all don't do me. When it comes to this, I know what I'm talking about, unlike some of you. So let's get into the facts of the case and a quick summary of what happened. On May 26th, Naomi Osaka tweeted the following: "I've often felt that people have no regard for athletes' mental health, and this rings very true whenever I see a press conference or partake in one. We're often sat there and asked questions that we've been asked multiple times before, or asked questions that bring doubt into our minds. And I'm just not going to subject myself to people that doubt me." Now, that is a tweet she again sent on May 26th. Basically saying that when during her play at the French Open tournament, she would not speak to the media at all. Now, a couple of aspects that people seem to have ignored. Basically, the facts. Number one, Naomi did not inform the tennis committees, the governing bodies of tennis, that she was having, these mental health issues, and her intent not to address the media. They found out the way we found out, via her tweet. And another thing I should mention is, prior to the French Open, and Naomi played in a clay court tournament, the Italian Open. She lost in maybe the first or second round, and maybe I think the second or third round. Yeah, second or third round. And after that loss, she did not address the media. So they let her slide once. Quiet as it's kept. They let her slide with that. So after the matches, Naomi played at the French Open. True to her word, she did not address the media in the press conference. So the tennis governing body reminded her that not only is she subject to fine, she is subject to suspension or default. Now, when people heard of that, a lot of people lost their minds, because in their opinion, that meant that this governing body was not supporting her, to threaten her with suspension or default when she was having mental health issues. Naomi's mental health issues are a personal matter. The enforcement of the rules, the application of the rules, is a professional matter. And that is where a lot of people have this twisted. In order to win a Grand Slam, you have to win 7 matches. So let's say Naomi Osaka decided, as she had intended to do, not to attend her press conference, and incurred the $15,000 fine each time. 15,000 times 7 is $105,000, which is much more than, a lot of people don't make that in a year. But that's nothing to Naomi. And that's the problem, one of the problems. Every player has the same obligation. But not every player can afford to basically buy their way out of it by paying a $15,000 fine. And essentially, that is what she was doing. What people seem to have ignored is that these rules are in place to ensure fairness to every single player, regardless if they're number 1 or if they're number 100, if they make $5 million per year or $5,000 per year. A lot of the comments I see is, people supporting Naomi, putting herself first. And you know what? I agree with that. However, you do not get to put yourself first at the expense of everyone else. That is the problem. And that is why there are so many people looking at her as an arrogant, spoiled brat. Everybody has an opinion on this controversy, which is exactly why the tennis governing body was 100% correct. People are biased. Rules are not. Putting herself first and addressing her mental health issues are fine. What is not fine is expecting everybody else to put you first. So let's discuss Naomi's mental health challenges. Again, Naomi did not want to do press because she did not want to be asked about her play on clay. That's essentially the reason, because to be asked about that, in her opinion, compromised her mental health. And that is another reason people are divided on this subject. She has no issue during press conferences when she wins. And Naomi Osaka has won 4 Grand Slams. She's won 4 Grand Slams. In fact, she has won every Grand Slam that she has gotten to the final. Every Grand Slam that she has reached the final, she has won. She's 4-0. That is remarkable. This girl has done hundreds of press conferences. She is very famous. She has modeled. She has done, countless interviews. And last year, she was front and center of the Black Lives Matter movement. Naomi Osaka is an activist, and she uses her fame and her notoriety to bring issues to the forefront. I'm so proud of her, and this is why this video is kind of hard to make, because I don't want it to seem as if I don't like her, because I love her. I really, really do. But because I like you does not mean I do not support you simply because I don't like what you did, or I don't necessarily agree with what you did. And that's the sort of objectivity that so many people don't have. Naomi Osaka put herself out there last year. I can only imagine the hate that she got. She did get a lot of criticism, from, those in Japan when she described herself as a Black woman. And P.S., Naomi Osaka is the daughter of a Japanese mother and a Haitian father. And she is a Japanese citizen. She is a citizen of Japan. And she represents Japan, not the U.S. Again, I don't think a lot of people know these types of things. If she plays the Olympics, she will be playing for Japan. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm sure there are times when that girl cried herself to sleep after reading some of the racist, just evil tweets that were sent to her. But she stayed the course and she didn't waver. So how is it that a girl with that sort of intestinal fortitude is now too fragile to speak to the media? There is no doubt in my mind that Naomi Osaka is struggling from a mental health perspective. None whatsoever. And I fully support her efforts in self-care. If Naomi's mental health was compromised prior to this tournament, and it seemed very much like it was. Again, she did not attend the press conference at the last tournament she played. If she was not mentally fit to play this tournament, I'm of the opinion that she should not have entered. And in the end, look what happened. She created this firestorm of controversy that impacted everybody, all of the players. And in the end, she withdrew because of it. So you have to ask yourself, if she was in a very difficult state prior to that, if she was having mental health challenges prior to this tournament, imagine what's going on with her now. Just this week, it was announced that she has pulled out of a tournament in Germany, which was a Wimbledon warm-up. So who knows at this point if she will play the next Grand Slam, which is Wimbledon. Next, we are going to talk about Serena Williams. And some people claim that Serena is the reason that Naomi is having this sort of, these mental health issues and this depression. I mean, when I read that, I almost honey, if I could have jumped into that tweet, I would have. Because that is one of the most disgusting, offensive, like sort of things I have ever heard. It is appalling to me that people are somehow trying to vilify Serena of all people. Serena created these opportunities for Naomi. Without Serena and Venus, there would be no Naomi, who makes almost $60 million a year. And to point to Serena, and there was an incident at the US Open in 2018. That was Naomi's first Grand Slam win, and she beat Serena. Naomi broke down because the crowd was pro Serena. She like apologized basically for winning, and Serena is her idol. Bottom line, it was a very controversial moment, and some people were pointing to that as the catalyst, the origin of Naomi's depression and mental health issues. And to that I say bullshit. And it is so offensive to me that, Serena Williams has gone through so much in the last, 20 plus years of her career. There's a tournament in Indian Wells, California. It is just below the Grand Slams in terms of importance. During that tournament, they were booed and subjected to racial slurs. And after that, this was in 2001. They did not play that tournament for 15 years. So you cannot tell me that Serena Williams and Venus have not endured trauma in the sport that they chose, a sport that did not want them. I remember once when when Venus first started out, she used to wear the beads. They gave her a point penalty because the beads in her braids fell out on the court. The other player complained about it. The player of non-color complained about it, and they gave her a point penalty. This is the type of stuff Venus and Serena have had to deal with throughout their career, and yet they have risen above it. After all she's accomplished and what she has meant to the game and what she still means to the game, people still try to vilify Serena Williams. And I don't care what you say, a lot of that is based upon her race. This is a dark-skinned black woman, whereas Naomi Osaka is a light-skinned mixed race woman. With all the racial divide that is going on and has been going on, here is a controversy. Here is a matter that has nothing to do with race. And for black Twitter to make it one is absolutely ridiculous. And the argument that I've read is, well, if this was a white woman who did this, first of all, it's not a white woman, okay? It's Naomi Osaka. That's number one, this what if. But let's go there. If, in fact, a white woman was in Naomi Osaka's position, she did not want to, do the press conferences after the match for whatever reason, and the tennis governing body allowed her not only to miss the press conferences, but also not make her subject to default or suspension as Naomi was. Black folks would be screaming discrimination and racism, and rightfully so. You would be flipping through, you'd have a PhD in those rules and those policies. You'd be like an attorney. And the tripped out part is the same people who somehow think the code of conduct and fair application of the rule have no bearing on this, should have no bearing on the situation, would be using those same rules to support their discrimination and racism narrative. What I want to make clear is I wish Naomi nothing but the best. I think she should take as much time off as she needs to get strong again. Because when she comes back, you guys, she is going to have to address this. There's no way around it. The media are going to ask her questions, and she's going to have to address this. In my opinion, Naomi should do a Meghan Markle, Prince Harry type interview with Oprah prior to returning to the tour. Like so many things, it's not what you do, but how you do it. I just wish she had spoken to the governing body before she sent that tweet. I think things might have been different. You know, you say that they didn't support her, but in fairness, she never gave them an opportunity to support her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, thumbs it up. And I also hope that you guys will comment below, because I really want to read about what you think of this whole situation and of this video, because people really feel some type of way about Naomi and this whole controversy. Once again, I hope Naomi gets well soon, and I hope she takes care of herself. Put herself first and leave tennis alone for a while. So, till next time, mwah.